Hello, this is frankly Tottenham video channel. Uh, I got COVID, I'm in bed, so I'm not doing the office thing with Tottenham Fred because I'm sick um, from COVID. I got the day of the game in the morning, I got diagnosed with COVID. So I was, I was hoping that Tottenham would cheer me up and beat Middlesborough and get to the quarterfinal of the FA Cup, but something is seriously not right, is it? It's just not right here at Tottenham. I feel really sorry for the youth who have been starved for a trophy. I mean, I'm 50 years old. Um, I've seen a bit of glory. I've seen a trophy lifted at Wembley twice. Um, yeah, it's so sad. And I was really, when we got to the Champions League final, I wanted it so bad, and the boys didn't show up. They didn't show up. They were too scared, and I think the reason. I really think the deep down reason for all this, I did a video earlier and I was so mad. I was ranting and shouting and screaming um, that I decided not to process that one because you're all feeling the same anger that I did last night. Um, but I've kind of figured out now, it's very obvious what's going on. The mentality in in Tottenham at White Hart Lane with our ownership for the last 20 years has seeped in corruption of the soul. It's basically, when you go into the place, you almost feel like it doesn't have any honor or integrity, really, because of the ownership. And that kind of trickles down to the players and the manager. The manager felt it, Conte. I mean, he shouldn't have said what he said when he lost against Burnley. But he was dead right in what he said. He was dead right. But he isn't in the position to do that as a manager. His position is to get the guys, get to fight the mentality that he's just started to realize what it's like at Tottenham. There's no honour and integrity with Daniel Lewis and Joe Lewis. It's so obvious, right? Um, Even Conte's felt it. And I'll tell you what's really annoying. I was watching the game and I'm like, why are we playing three at the back against Middlesbrough? I mean, we don't have any creativity in the middle midfield. There is none, absolutely none. Horbier, I appreciate that he's a Viking, he's a warrior. He'll go for a brick wall for us, but there's a reason why we got him for 15 million from Southampton. Okay, he's not he. We can do a lot better. I'm sorry, Horbier and Winks. Your time's done. You just don't have it. You had Conte's giving you chances because Skip's out, and you haven't grabbed any of it. We have to get rid of Horbier, Winks, Doherty, Royal, Davis, Sanchez. Man, there's a lot we have to get rid of, and also, but the top things we have to get rid of is Enoch. How long? Like everyone says to me, or everyone says, hold on, Frank. Why don't you wait to see what happens in the summer transfer window? I don't have to wait. I know exactly what's going to happen. Conte's probably going to leave after his 38th Premier League game at the final whistle. He's probably going to hug the lads, grab a cab to Heathrow, first-class ticket back to Italy, and say, thank God for that. He's not going to stay. Why would he stay? I mean, unless Levy says, I'm going to get all the players you want in the first 2-3 weeks. That's the only way. And that's not going to happen. So what's going to happen is he's going to pump out some players, and then we're going to get a new manager, probably some old English geezer. I don't know who you want. I don't know. Brendan Rodgers. I don't know. I keep hearing that him. I mean, he might leave. I mean, Leicester's not doing good, are they? I mean, it's just. But you could bring in Jesus Christ to be our manager, and Jesus couldn't even solve it unless you finance Jesus. And the finance isn't coming, is it? No, it's not coming. So what do you do? Us as fans, I feel like after we get free Google players in the transfer window in the summer with our new manager, that's it. That's enough. Like, we have to come out in mass protest. You have to not 300 people in the rain. You know what I mean? It's like they're laughing at that. You've got to get on the evening news and say, like, North London was cut off with traffic and everything because there was over 10,000 Tottenham fans. And you've got to do it every freaking once a week until they get out. You've got to shame them publicly on the evening news, not sports news, but the evening news. And us fans have to get together and do this. If we don't, and then the rot is going to continue, the mentality is going to continue. Okay? So we need to get new ownership, as simple as that. Don't worry about, Son, Kane, who we're going to get. Is this our last you with them? It's like, sell Kane, like basically sell Kane, sell Son, sell all the others, right? Get the ownership out, get a new ownership in, a total new rebuild. Okay, an owner that will actually spend some of their money, right? Don't mind to actually put some of their money into the transfer busy part of it, the business part of it, right? That have a bit of honor and integrity and says, hey, I came to Tottenham to leave a legacy. That's what we want. We want an owner that comes to Tottenham that says, I'm going to leave a legacy. And that legacy is going to be lots of trophies and keep the fans happy. And you can still have your shopping mall and your pizza shops and your in your stadium and NFL games. I heard that there's a bid that the Super Bowl might be coming in 2026 to Tottenham. There you go. I mean, there's plenty of potential. We don't even have naming rights for the stadium. That could be huge income. But Levy doesn't. All he knows about is buying property. That's all he does. That's all he knows is property, and he loves blueprint. He loves blueprints and a hard hat with a suit. That's all he does. That's what he loves to do. That's why he's talking about building a whole bunch of apartment flats next to the stadium. Fancy ones that will cost millions to buy or rent. I mean, it's not. That's all he cares about is that share side of business, and we need an ownership that cares about what actually the stadium's there for, and that's for Tottenham Hotspur to play and win trophies. We're never going to do it with Enoch. We've just seen the last 21 years of shit, and he's been lucky because he had a team. He got a kind of a good team there with Redknapp, with Bale, Modric, and all them. And then he got the Pochettino years. You know how much all those players cost that he bought for? It's all under. I checked it out. It's under £50 million for all that great squad, and two great squads. 50 million, under 50 million. Could you imagine that? I'm not counting the likes of Sanchez or that wanker from France. What's his name? I even forgot his name now. Endom fat ass. I mean, what a waste of money that was. And the Celso, I mean, he just paycheck player, right? I've got a bruise. I can't play. All right, sit down for a month. I mean, look, two big tossers of players. We spent a lot of money on them, too. I mean, that just tells you Levy's an idiot, right? I mean, if you're going to spend money, at least spend it on known quality, like known players that will go for a brick wall and has talent and somebody, a midfielder that can pass the ball, right? I mean, it's absolutely crazy. It's just beyond a joke, and we just got to stop it. So I'm laying here pretty much miserable in bed with COVID. You can like and subscribe. I mean, I've said before in my other videos, I'm here for pretty much therapy for myself, but I feel your pain, Tottenham boys and girls. It's an ever going merry-go-round of torture. I mean, it's worse than like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? It's like, just kill us already, and we're getting killed by 1,000 pokes here. I mean, all the teasing and all the transfers we're supposed to get, it's like a little stab at your soul, at your Tottenham soul, what I mean? And it just drags you into deep darkness, and it's not a good place to be, is it? I'm going to say, stick together. Please don't fight with each other. There's no point in fighting with each other. We've got to get behind one cause as a fans, and that is to get Enoch out of our fucking stadium and out of our lives and get somebody in there. They're only custodians of the club. They don't own the soul of the club. They only own the mortar and the water of Tottenham, okay, in White Hart Lane. They don't own the soul. We do. We own the soul of Tottenham. And we got to start taking action like Liverpool did years ago. Okay, we got to do that. We got to do it every game. We got to see those Enoch signs out. Roll them up and stick them into your jacket, and then get out there. Get out there and do it. This thing's too tight. I'm getting hot and cold chills. Oh, COVID. Oh. But please, just stick together. All right, lots of love. Frankly, Tottenham's out. Like and subscribe if you want to.